What's up, guys? It's March 1st, Saturday, 5:54. I just had a couple of thoughts that I was thinking through today on my first day of fasting. I had a lot of thoughts, and I had a couple of experiences that I wanted to share. Um, so, should I do the experience first or my thoughts? Which goes together. Okay, I'll just say what I was thinking. One of the things I'm trying to work towards internally in my nervous system, mentally, not is to control my anger. Is to control my anger. And it's interesting how sometimes I find myself just sitting in a room and getting angry just by myself, just sitting here, just thinking about certain things. And one of those things is that how other people don't think the way I think. And I came to that conclusion today. I was like, why am I mad that other people don't think the way I think? And I think it's because their perspective and their outlook on certain topics that I feel strongly about in a certain direction, they feel differently in a different direction about those certain topics, and they say condescending things. They have said condescending things to me that have stuck with me for many years. That I remember, and I think about it, and every time I hear those words, I remember those words of them saying those things to me. It makes me really mad. But I came to the conclusion, I'm like, why am I mad that people don't think the way I think? And that kind of let it dissolve. And there's one tool that helped me that I've learned, which is pretty much this, whether it's other topics, not other issues that I might be worried about, is just to label it. Just be like, oh, I take myself out of thinking about it and just oh, what is Ahmed thinking about right now? Oh, he's thinking about this, and I just label it one topic. I label it one word or 2 words what I'm thinking about, and all the feelings it kind of dissolves and it goes away. It kind of mediates it and balances it out, so I'm not too emotional about it. So yeah, they think a certain way and they have certain life perspectives and stuff, and they say condescending things about other people's views, and they show lack of respect and open-mindedness and compassion. And when I think that just thinking about them doing that makes me mad and makes me kind of even revengeful, I even start thinking about ways to prove them wrong or to make them feel stupid the way they made me feel. Just thinking about stuff, thinking about sly remarks or mean things I could say to them, just visualizing mean things I could say to them and make them feel completely stupid for ever thinking like that. But yeah, that goes through my mind kind of more often than I would like. But I came to the conclusion today on the first day of Ramadan, why am I mad that people don't think the way I think? Because in my nervous system, it's those thoughts just keep coming up. It's something reminds me of it, anything, it just comes and reminds me of it. And I get stuck in these negative thought patterns. So you guys let me know, should I just keep myself busy doing something else, just do something positive, or I know I have to work through it and label it, and then it makes it all dissolve. But I'm just curious to know if how long it takes for me to not feel some type of way about how other people think, and these people are really close and really close to me. So yeah, and then so the experience that I had today was somebody asked me a question, and I told them don't worry about it, and then they were like, you don't have to get defensive. And then I kind of lost my cool, and I was like, why are you asking that question? Like, the question was like the same question that was asked for like the past 2 weeks or something. And I kept giving the same answer. And then they were like, it's just a question. And like, for me, like, it's not just a question. Like, you don't have to get defensive, they said. And I just said, don't worry about it. And how's that getting defensive, first of all? So that led me to think, if my answer is defensive, so does that does that normally evolve into the conclusion that questions are offensive if answers can be defensive? If they asked me a question and I said, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it, and they say, you don't have to get defensive, so if my answer was defensive, so are questions offensive, right? So instead of saying, don't worry about it, maybe next time I should say, don't get offensive with me, right? Because you don't have to get defensive. So that means I say, you shouldn't get offensive with me, right? So you tell me, are questions offensive? Like, they're too prying. Like, sometimes questions are too prying and too people want to know the details and stuff, you know? And like, are you pregnant, or when are you guys gonna have kids, or how much do you make a year, or what do you make an hour today, or something? Or is that offensive questions? Like, how much money is your stock, or how much money is in your bank, you know? Or what did you do today, or when was the last time you saw this, or where did you go last night? You know, are those offensive questions? Or what did you do with the thing that I gave you? Is that offensive? Should I immediately don't even answer and just say, don't get offensive with me? Or when somebody asks you an offensive question, the same question they've been asking for the past 10 days, 2 weeks, and you give them the same answer, they claim that it's just a simple question, right? But the thing is that I learned today, and that I know about life, is that no question is simple. You're asking a question to gain knowledge. And what are you going to do with that knowledge? How are you going to form a judgment? How are you going to ponder over the answers about that answer that they give you? If somebody asks me how much money do I have in my bank, and then I tell them a wild amount of number, what is that going to do to their mind after they hear that answer, right? So there's no simple questions to the person. If whoever's watching this, to the person, there's no simple questions, first of all. Second of all, I think there are offensive questions, and there are offensive answers, but I highly doubt that don't worry about it is an offensive answer. And then I was also thinking about love, like, oh, it's time to break my fast. I was thinking about love. And how everybody always tells you they love you, they love you, they love you. But I think love is more than just saying you love somebody, right? Like, in our tradition, you say if you really love somebody, if you're just feeling them, you're feeling their vibe, you just tell them, I love you. I love you. Like, if they say something funny, I love you. Or they say something you don't like, I hate you. Just like friendly though. But you say I love you. But like, I feel like some people, they take advantage of that just because of their position, maybe their familial ties or something like that, or maybe how long they've been in their life, or maybe other like superficial things. Well, family is not superficial, that's deep, but like, even family and close friends like don't show respect or trust, like, and that's what I want more of. Like, alhamdulillah, there's a lot of love in this world, but I want people around me that like communicate well and respect boundaries and respect information. um and I have to do a better job at that too, not being too overly sherry and stuff like that, and try to gauge the conversation um, the way to avoid any like unnecessary information being leaked and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, like love and trust and respect. I think respect and trust is big. Respect and trust is big. And the same person that asked me the question about something, I said don't worry about. Like I said something to them earlier, saying don't bring up the topic anymore. I hope you can respect that. And they still brought up the topic. And they were talking about how other people feel, not me. They're talking about how they felt and how other people will feel based on the topic that happened. I sent a message based on something. I sent a message based on a life event, and the person sent back. I said, I don't want any further. I would like respect for my privacy. And the person still asked the question. And then their justification for it was like, how would other people feel? How would I and the other people feel? Which is selfish. And I guess I'm selfish too, and we're all selfish. And this is just goes back to the point, like, other people don't think the way I think. But I think we have to be strong and firm about who we let disrespect us. Because if you disrespect me when I clearly tell you to respect me, and you follow that up with how would other people feel, and not completely disregarding how I feel, yeah, that's just some of the thoughts that I've been going through lately, being disrespected and trying to control my anger, and being asked offensive questions and apparently giving defensive answers, and people don't think the way I think, and just normal daily thoughts that I go through that I'm trying to work through. But yeah, if any of you guys can relate, let me know. Sorry if it was kind of if you feel some type of way about this, but I don't know, I guess I'm hungry. But I get these thoughts even when I'm hungry. I mean, even when I eat. So, like, there's certain things, like, the main thing is, don't get mad at people that don't think the way you think. And when those thoughts and when those hurtful comments replay in your mind, just, what do you do? What do? You just say, he doesn't know any better. They don't know any better. What else do you say? They don't know any better. Now, why am I mad? I think about ways to like really flex on them and stuff. Black card, boy. Black card. But yeah. Alright. Go eat, Allah, go eat.